Welcome everybody. So I am back and bringing you guys a special product review. Now it's been a while since I've done a product review on anything, but what I have here is an Apple iPad Air. This is the 10.5 inch screen, the third generation Apple iPad. Now how did I know this? Well, apparently I went to the Apple store because I wanted to get a case for this. The case that I have for it is actually on the ground. I tried to film with it, but because it's blue and my screen's a blue screen, it didn't really work the first time that I recorded this video, so this is actually the second time running through this. But apparently he said it was a second generation Apple iPad Air. I tried putting this actually in the case for it and dropped it a few inches, and it kind of fell onto my coffee table, which kind of scared me for a minute because I thought maybe, the screen would be damaged or whatnot, but the screen's actually pretty fine. This thing works like a charm. This thing is pretty awesome. And what is the reason why I got this? Well, over Christmas I got this because of the fact that, I wanted something that I could write down notes. As you guys know, that I shoot movie reviews and stuff like that, and so when I'm talking through movies, I generally want to have something on the screen, either IMDb or sort of a notes section, kind of run down sort of the things that I want to talk about in these reviews and kind of make them a little bit interesting for you. I do like having sort of an off-the-cuff sort of review for you guys just because it's a little bit more personal. It seems a little bit less fake, like when you're kind of reading it off a teleprompter. But maybe in the future I might get a teleprompter just to kind of make it easier on myself in my future videos. But for now, this is the next best thing, and I can pretty much write down notes on this through the notes section, and it pretty much does the job because I've used this on sort of my iPhone. It has the same iOS. It's running off of the iOS for the Apple system, which all Apple devices pretty much utilize is the iOS systems, in which case everything is flawless. It works, flawlessly through either your MacBook Pro or your iMac or, even the iPhone and the Apple iPad Air, which this is. I wanted to get the Apple iPad Pro, but it was a little bit more expensive for my budget. That's a little bit more costly, and it's about $1,000. So if you're looking for sort of something that's inexpensive, it doesn't cost that much money, that won't break the bank, the Apple iPad Air is about $500 to $600. So even with that price point, I think you're going to find a lot of enjoyment out of this. The other reason I wanted to get this was because I am a screenwriter. I do like to write screenplays as a hobby, and so I do have the Final Draft app installed on my iMac and my MacBook Pro. I have Final Draft 9 and Final Draft 10 installed. I don't have Final Draft 11 or whatever current version that they currently have on the market, but I don't really need it because you only have to upgrade every so often. It's not something that you need to kind of upgrade until they get, a little bit further ahead, and then you might want to upgrade down the line. But it's really great for screenwriters because it sets everything up in sort of a screenplay format, and it allows you to kind of write screenplays with the professional tools that Hollywood does use because they do use Final Draft a lot. But with the Final Draft app, I can pretty much import my Final Draft scripts from Dropbox and things of that nature onto this Apple iPad, and I can pretty much write screenplays on the go, which this is a portable device, so it's a little bit easier than taking sort of your MacBook Pro, in which mine has a keyboard issue, which I need to fix at some point, or actually get a new MacBook Pro just because the keyboard keys aren't working. It's a really old computer. I've had it since back when I actually moved to Los Angeles and was kind of working on that while I was kind of living there for a couple months. And so this is the next best thing, is to have something small and durable like this, and being the fact that I've dropped this and this thing still works flawlessly, even with a few sort of smudges on the screen and whatnot from me using it. There's no scratches or anything from dropping it on the coffee table, which it landed on the screen side, so that was awesome. I was a little bit scared when I saw that just because I'm like, oh shit, like I only moved it like an inch and it kind of flew off on the table and everything, which I don't know how that happens, because like when I was using it over the holidays, like I didn't drop it once, and the minute that I get home, that's kind of when I drop it, which is kind of ironic, I guess. So, not only can you write screenplays on this, but you can also download things like Netflix or Disney Plus if you have a Disney Plus subscription like I do. I pretty much pay for the $12.99 subscription, which allows me to have Disney Plus, Hulu, and then ESPN, which I don't really use because I don't really watch sports that much. But if you wanted to, you could watch that on this iPad. You could also download Netflix here, and if you have a Netflix account, which I do as well, you can watch movies on here, and that was another thing that I got. This also comes with Apple TV app, so if you go to the Apple TV app, you can see all your previously downloaded movies and stuff like that from your iMac or your iPhone or whatnot, or whatever you're currently using to kind of utilize the iOS systems. It's really good for that as well. So you can watch movies, you can listen to music. This is a very versatile system, and I really do like it just because it's a little bit easier to use than sort of a MacBook, any of the other devices that I kind of currently use at my disposal to create content for YouTube and stuff like that. So this is definitely a lot of help, a lot more help than I probably thought I was going to use it for. And the fact that you can do so many different stuff like this, I would have to give the Apple iPad Air an A+, just based on what I use it for in terms of watching movies, writing down notes for things like movie reviews, the fact that I can write screenplays on this on the go, the fact that you can pretty much take this anywhere because it is kind of durable that way. This definitely deserves, I think, your consideration. If you're thinking about buying this for anybody that's kind of tech savvy, that is interested in screenwriting, is interested in shooting, YouTube videos, they can definitely utilize this for a different variety of different features. It does come with an app they can download that has a camera slate, so you can kind of connect it to a camera, which is also pretty cool. And then you can kind of use it as a slate for when you're making films and stuff like that. So it's other uses for that filmmaking as well. Besides filmmaking, I think that you're going to find a lot of cool ways to watch watch movies, you can play video games, just a whole variety of stuff that you can do with an Apple iPad Air. And I'm not just shilling for this company just because, I like the MacBook setup, I like the iMacs that I'm currently using, but I'm using this because this is kind of the stuff that Hollywood uses. Hollywood uses a lot of the iOS systems. When I was living in LA, I toured some of the studios and some of the computer systems that they had up. Some of the portable laptops they were using were MacBook Pros, so a lot of professional studios use the iOS systems. I figured I might as well use the stuff that they're using in Hollywood, but that's my personal take on the Apple iPad Air. I think that anyone who's interested in this, even as sort of a non-filmmaker that just wants to surf the internet, watch movies and stuff like that, will definitely enjoy this product. So I really do like this, and I think that, it's great for filmmakers. There's also something that I failed to mention, a camera on here, so you can shoot on this. There's also iMovie as well, but, being that I am a filmmaker, being that I kind of went to school for video production, I know that they don't really like the fact that you put iMovie on your resume, that if you're trying to get a job in Hollywood, they would kind of laugh at you and they'd want you to have some experience with Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects, or even Avid. So I would have to say that you should definitely utilize the Mac features for that and kind of download the software through the Adobe Store and try and learn it that way to kind of shoot YouTube videos and kind of edit for YouTube or film and stuff like that. But there are people that have made careers just editing off of iMovie, so it can be done. It's just not something that I would highly recommend as a filmmaking sort of video editing system. But that's also sort of a negative on this, is that you don't really have the ability to kind of download Adobe Premiere. I guess you kind of could, but I wouldn't recommend it just because the editing screen would be kind of wonky and it'd be kind of hard to use just because it's a smaller screen. But again, that's my own personal opinion, but I do think that this as sort of an entertainment system on its own is definitely worth it. So that's my personal opinion. Hopefully you guys like this video. As always, guys, hopefully you guys learn a thing or two about the movie industry and filmmaking in general. And as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.